With Super Tuesday now behind us, probably some of you have been paying close attention to Bush's new budget proposal. So the Wall Street Journal, of course, put a very positive spin on this. Their headline yesterday basically said that a budget calls for 2.3 trillion in tax cuts through 2018. President Bush's new budget plan calls for 2.3 trillion in tax cuts over the next decade, chiefly by renewing his 2001 and 2003 tax cuts, which essentially benefit the very wealthy. I will not jeopardize our country's continued prosperity with a tax increase, Mr. Bush said on Monday in his budget message to Congress. Higher taxes would only lead to more wasteful spending in Washington, putting at risk both economic growth and a balanced budget. Some financial experts have some different opinions about this. One of them comes from Bloomberg News, and basically, what this says is that even with the savings Bush proposes through the continuing tax cuts, the budget deficit. Now, remember, Bush is trying to steer us into a balanced budget. The budget deficit is projected to reach $410 billion this year alone. And that's up from 162 in the year of 2007. 162 billion versus 410 billion, that is, reflecting a slower economy generating fewer corporate tax receipts. The cost of a $146 billion economic stimulus package in the form of little rebates to us little people, and more spending on wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The deficit is forecast at $407 billion in 2009. The record deficit in dollar terms was $413 billion in 2004. Now, this is what Bush calls a balanced budget. It continues with some more news here regarding the same subject. President Bush sent Congress, as we all know, a $3.1 trillion federal budget that trims Medicare and health care programs, boosts military spending, and projects the deficit this year and next will hit near record levels. The budget blueprint for fiscal 2009 slows the rate of growth in spending for entitlement programs, such as Medicare, for savings of $208 billion over 5 years. Pentagon spending would rise by 7.5% to $515 billion, the 11th consecutive year of increases. The programs in the Department of Education, the Departments of Interior, Transportation, Justice, and Agriculture would be reduced. Other programs that would be reduced would be the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. They would take a 6.2% hit. And the Health Resources and Services Administration, which helps the poor receive medical care, would be cut by 15.8%. 15.8%, while the Pentagon is getting a 7.2% increase. Congress is likely to resist many of the deep cuts to healthcare providers anticipated in Bush's proposed 2009 budget, though analysts say some cost-cutting proposals would become law. Bush's proposed budget would cut nearly $200 billion over 5 years from Medicare and Medicaid, the government health programs for seniors and the poor, mainly by freezing payments to hospitals, rehabilitation clinics, and other care centers. Basically, the American Hospital Association has protested vehemently against these proposals, and that level of reduction is so outrageous that it will be summarily rejected by members of both parties in Congress, said Tom Nichols, a senior vice president for the American Hospital Association. Democrats on Monday suggested they agreed, criticizing Bush for cutting health care services when seniors and the poor are threatened by further economic insecurity. And Democrats in the House wanted to offset the payment cuts to physicians by instead reducing payments to private Medicare health plan providers or operators like Humana Incorporated, which is basically a private insurance company. But Bush has threatened to veto any bill that lowers payments to those private corporations. Just thought I'd pass that along. So the Pentagon gets a 7.2% increase, while basically seniors and the poor are being left to fend for themselves, essentially. More videos coming on this, I'm sure, from other people. So let's keep focused on it, and let's not trust the Democrats in Congress to do too much. They need to hear from us. Thanks. Good night.